There is a tremendous amount of power in repeating a thought over and over and over and over again. It's powerful on so many levels. First of all, how we get programmed is through emotional repetition. You know, when we think a thought that causes us to feel an emotion, a strong emotion, then we get programmed. And the more we think a thought, the more we feel that emotion. And the more we feel that emotion, the more we get programmed. So if you really understand that, you start to really understand the fact that you can have anything you want if you are willing to program yourself to feel it on a consistent basis. I want to talk about this first and foremost from a kind of negative aspect. So let's look at stress, okay? Stress is you thinking about something over and over again that you don't want to happen. That's what stress is, if you really think about that. And when you are stressed, you feel it on every aspect of your body. You feel it deeply. And it's so interesting that people understand the power of thoughts when it comes to negative things like stress, which is why I'm talking about it first, right? But if I started off with the positive sides of it, you might need more evidence to convince yourself that thoughts affect the way you feel, and that the way you feel has something to do with what manifests in your life. But when you really start understanding that this not only works for something like stress, that it also works for positivity, you'll start consciously using that power to ingrain into your mind images that you do want to happen. And that's what I'm talking about in this video, is how do you program your mind to believe in something good happening in your life? And I think society has done a good job at convincing the average person that they don't deserve good things. And if they do ever experience something good, then it's not something they can experience over and over again. My goodness, it has to be a miracle if something good happens to you. But I'm here to tell you that there's a science behind miracles, okay? And I'm calling this video the science of miracles. The reason why miracles don't seem to happen more than they usually happen for the average person is because the average person is unconscious when it comes to how miracles happen in the first place. But once you understand the science behind it, it's not even a miracle anymore. It's just a manifestation. It's just a result of what happens when you think a certain way and when you feel a certain way. And so I want to convince you that you got to get really, 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 really good at programming your mind for success. Now, I don't know where you are right now in your reality, but I'm assuming that if you are watching this video, there's something in your reality you want to change for the better. Because you would not be watching a video titled The Science of Miracles if you didn't want to change something in your life. Now, I want to talk about the subject of money, because money is a subject that a lot of people struggle with. But if money is not relevant to you, you can replace the word money for something else that is relevant for you, because the science is going to work either way. And let's just say that you are in a financial predicament where you need money quick. And if you don't get the money, then something bad could happen. And the average person, when they are in this predicament, the average person does the average thing, which is they give all of their energy to the idea of the bad thing that they don't want to happen happening, which causes them to stress out about their financial predicament. And when you are giving all of your time and energy to thoughts that represent the outcome you don't want, you are creating the outcome you don't want, because your thoughts and your energy and your time combined is what causes things to manifest in your reality. So if you are in a financial predicament where you don't currently have the money you want, there is nothing stopping you from having that money right now other than yourself. You are the only one stopping you from having that money right now. There is no Illuminati stopping you from having that money right now, unless you are physically incarcerated. There is no government stopping you from having that money right now. There is no devil stopping you from having that money right now. There is no curse stopping you from having that money right now. The only thing stopping you from having that money right now is you. And you might not be aware of how you are keeping yourself away from the money. But I've already gave you the answer to that question. How am I keeping myself away from the money? I already gave you the answer. You're keeping yourself away from the money by dedicating the vast majority of your time, your energy, and all of your emotion. You're wasting all of that on the thoughts that are images of what you don't want to happen. And that's what's creating it. So what you have to do is, when you are in a financial predicament where you don't have the money you would like to have and you need it, I want you to become, first of all, you can't help but to do this, but become keenly aware of the problem. Okay? The problem is you need money. And then immediately I want you to say, okay, I got the problem. I don't have to think about the problem no more. The problem is already taking care of itself. I want you to close your eyes and tell your brain to give you the solution. Now, this is no task for rocket scientists. If the problem is that you don't have any money, then obviously the solution is having money. And now that you have the solution, with your eyes closed, I want you to repeat for about 10 minutes over and over again, multiple times throughout the day, focusing. I want you to repeat this phrase. And this phrase is focusing on the money. 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 You're going to repeat that over and over again, multiple times a day. And as you repeat this multiple times a day, I want you to express gratitude for the money as if you already have it. How do you do that? You reach, as you're repeating the affirmation, you reach for a higher emotion. Okay, reach for a higher emotion. How do I reach for a higher emotion, Robbie? You ask your body to show you what it feels like to have the money. And all you got to do then is place your hand on your heart and ask your body to show you what it feels like to have the money. Say, body, show me what it feels like to have the money. And then it's going to let you experience, it's going to let you taste that emotion. And I want you to remember that emotion. And as you are repeating, focusing on the money, as you're repeating your money magnet affirmation, you're going to reach for the memory of that emotion that was brought up when you asked your body to show you what it feels like to have the money. That's it. And then you're going to align all of your actions, with the idea of having the money. All of your actions. All of them. All right. And you're going to make it easy for money to flow to you. Make it easy for money to flow to you. How do you make it easy for money to flow to you? You make it easy for money to flow to you by making it easy for money to find you. How do you make it easy for money to find you? You got to put yourself in a position of where money comes from. Money comes from other people. And other people will give you money if you have something that they want or need. Now, obviously, so many law of attraction people tell you to just sit on the couch and wait for the money to show up. I'm not telling you to do that because I know from personal experience that sitting on the couch and waiting for the money to show up is going to cause you to go back into a state of stress again. I'm not going to say that you can't attract money that way. You can. But it takes repetition to build up the belief that you can attract money that way. For the average person, when they do this, they sit on the couch for a while, and sit on the couch is a metaphor for do nothing. They do nothing, and then all of a sudden they start worrying about where the money is going to come from. And because they started worrying about where the money is going to come from again, now the money is being kept away from them all over again because they're worried about where the money is going to come from. And your job is to convince your mind that you already have the money. You're convincing your nervous system that you already have the money. Okay. When you are in a state of here's a key. See, your central nervous system is what I call smart dumb. It's smart, but it's also dumb. Here's why it's smart. It's smart because it knows that when you are worried about money, it knows to produce the emotion of stress. It knows that. So now your central nervous system is directly linking stress to money. But when you start reaching for a higher state of emotion, while you repeat the affirmation, focusing on the money, you're going to override the program. You're going to override the current program that your central nervous system has. And you're going to give it a new command. And when you think about money and you override the program that your central nervous system currently has with that new emotion, it's going to say, oh my God, well, we must have the money then. And that's what I mean by it's dumb, right? It's only looking for your response. So if you don't tell it what to feel when you think about a particular subject, it's just going to feel what you usually feel when you think about that subject. But you have to train your central nervous system to produce another feeling when the subject of money comes up. This is why some people never panic when they are low on income and other people panic when they are low on income. Some people, if they lost it all today, they could have it back all tomorrow because they've trained their nervous system, aka their subconscious mind. They've trained their subconscious mind and their nervous system to look at money in a certain way. And they just naturally go back to taking the same actions they would have took to get that they took to get the money in the first place. It's a science. It's repeatable. And the reason why I say this is because emotions override logic all the time. Even for the most masculine males out there, emotions override logic all the time. And when you get really, really good at giving your body a new emotion in response to finances, you're going to give yourself a new result in response to finances. I don't know if you hear me right now. When you train your central nervous system to conjure up a new emotion in relationship to money, you're going to train your mind to produce a new result in relationship to money. And so if I were you, I would get really, 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 really good at convincing my central nervous system that I am always financially provided for. I would get really, really good at convincing myself that money is abundant in my reality. If I were you, I would get really, really, really good at talking to my mind every single day, talking to my body every single day. If I were you, I would get really, really good at commanding my mind to focus on the solution over and over and over and over again. Because when you command your mind to focus on the solution over and over and over again, you are literally giving yourself a new set of commands that are going to give yourself a new set of results. And you will feel financial lack no more. This is the science. And the reason why I call it a science is because you can reproduce the same emotions over and over again, and you can reproduce the same results over and over again. Life is a game, all right? And when you practice over and over and over again, you get really, really, really good at the game. And just like any game, in order to become a master, you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to train. And all I'm asking you to do is train your brain. It's Robbie Cornelius, encouraging you to do some strange things with your brain to make some change. Go ahead and like the comment section or comment on the video. Comment, like it, subscribe. And if you want my help in manifesting the life you really want to live, visit me at mindmastersociety.com. I am a king at this.